when life pulls you back, right? Um, there's going to be situations where you're trying to level up in your life, and you recognize that the situation that you're in isn't the best situation that you can possibly be in. Now, are you grateful for the opportunity or the situation that you're in? Yes. But the biggest takeaway that you have to have when you are faced these situations in the leveling up is the fact that, can you recognize that you're repeating a pattern that you've actively been in? For example, I had a friend, right? And his mom would always tell him to get a job. And when he had the job, he would be like, she would never say anything, right? But as soon as he never had a job, she would literally tell him, like, you gotta have a job. You're not gonna be living in my house with no job. And he would go back and forth, and he would tell me these stories, and I'd be like, bro, you know what's crazy? It's like I feel that, and I understand that. I'm like, I've been through one of those same situations. But the thing is, that's a pattern, right? Whether you want to recognize it or not, because of my friend, he would have a job and they wouldn't have a job, right? It's like, yeah, that's one pattern, but there's a pattern in her actions too. Now, this can be for anything that has ever been ordinary. There's probably a thing where it's like, at every time you go to sleep at 2 o'clock, you don't want to go to sleep at 2 o'clock, you go to sleep at 2 o'clock, and you're not recognizing that every time you're not staying up past 3 o'clock to challenge yourself to be, you feel what I'm trying to say? These little things that you keep going back and forth, it's like, well, I want to get better, right? I don't want to go to sleep at 2 o'clock. I want to go to sleep around like 10. So now you recognize, well, I keep going to sleep at 2 o'clock. So what am I doing in the morning that keeps that cycle going? But the main premise of the things that I was telling my friend in this aspect is like, you get annoyed because you now don't have a job and she's on your back about it. And I remember when he was telling me this, because I remember, like, he already told me he was like leaving his job and everything months ago, and he would just be outside and not have a job. So like, there was months before he even told his mom that he was outside, and that he did. And it's crazy because the thing was him letting her know that he does not have a job. So it's kind of like interesting to see that when he felt, in a sense, like he was good, he was solid, but every time now when he speaks to his mom, it's like he's getting pulled back into this world. But here's the cool thing about this, right? He pinpoint the idea. He's like, why am I in a situation? Why do I keep feeling some type of way every time I'm out? I looked at it where it's like, you can literally not engage with all the crazy things that happen in our life. You can literally tell yourself and be like, well, I'm not gonna engage with this, bro. Like, I understand my worth. I understand, when I say my worth, I understand where my mental is at, and I don't have to deal with that. And this is a big trope in today's society, is that we go out and we find these patterns that we actively do over and over. We don't recognize them, and we don't allow ourselves to say, fuck it, I'm not gonna allow that shit to insert my mind. Like, if I was in that situation, right, I could literally say, well, I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't give a fuck what you think, whether you're my mother, my brother, my friend, my coach. I don't care, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like, you aren't fucking praising me when I have a job. You're not praising me when I am happy. So you're only beating me up when I'm down. So why the fuck would I care about your opinion? So that's the most important thing, is like, even when you're in a situation where you recognize that you want to change something that has been happening to you over and over and over, you have to look at the benefit of saying, well, what can I do about this situation to allow myself or arm myself with the best set of knowledge to progress me? So if you are in a situation where life is trying to pull you back and you're trying to elevate, you have to look at that situation, recognize what it is, and then say, I don't give a fuck what this person thinks, puts on me, because at the end of the day, I'm still living my life, and I only care about my sanity. Yes, that is selfish. Yes, that is not the best way, because everybody wants to be looked at a certain way in your life. But at the end of the day, these people do not control your narrative. So I look at a lot of parents, and mind you, it's like in a lot of different structures, in a lot of different pay gaps, right? People are set in different situations where you can be raised without a father. That's a different situation. You can be raised in one of the most wealthiest situations, right? And these attributes that are told to these kids in different settings are actually insane. I was talking to my brother about this thing, about like, yo, I think I should get ADHD medicine. Like maybe that should make me like super focused. But and then as he was speaking about, he was like, but you know, they tell these things to certain black families to get them cycled on Adderall to be da da da. And for me, I'm like, but you don't understand that maybe this shit can't work. So, but the overarching theme that he was trying to express was that that's the dichotomy of the average black family that has kids or boys that are super active. They try to control black kids or people in general to say, hey, you're diagnosed with this thing. You need medication. You need to be slowed down because you're too active. But is that actually beneficial? And the crazy thing that got me was the fact that it's like, if you believe in God, why would that be a diagnosis? And I was like, damn, that's tough. I'm not going to argue that, right? I believe in God. So why do I think that I need to get ADHD medicine to make me super focused? And people, when you think about it and be like, well, that doesn't make sense and this and that third, it's like, no, I think like that just, it just arms me with more knowledge about the faith journey that I'm still lacking in certain aspects, but I'm still growing, right? And recognizing those things or those patterns or those certain things that have been fed to my mind. I look at these situations where I'm like, well, I tell my friend, well, you can change your situation because you don't have to listen to anybody's opinion about you or how they think about you. Nobody owes you shit in this world. Nobody cares enough about you. Nobody cares enough about your wins. Nobody cares about your losses. Your losses, when your family decides to dwell on your losses, that is something innately to do with them. But when you structure your life to say, I don't care what you think, I don't care how you try to persuade me to pull me back into a situation that I am no longer benefiting from, that's when you become the man that you're supposed to be, or the woman that you're supposed to be. You move past the fucking the psyop that was told to you. Well, when you see the pattern, the biggest thing about all of this is you don't have to be pulled back into a situation that you are uncomfortable with when you are trying to level up. If I was in that situation, like I said, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care how you perceive me. I am moving forward with my career. Now, when you are actively saying, oh, I'm proud of you and this, that, and third, it does not matter to me. I don't need praise. I don't need this, that, and third, because you've already showed me your cards of what you care about the most. So it's just like learning that arms you to look at situations and to not feel any type of way about the situation you were just placed in. If I was my friend, I'm like, damn, every time I interact with my mom, it's just like something barging before the door. It's like, don't need it. It's not necessary. So you can arm yourself with disengaging, not interacting. It's just like, those are the little things that people don't look at their situation, and because it's just like, you can do that. You have fucking free will. Who told you have to be fucking daunted and livid about, oh, not getting money or not having a job or keep reliving these things? Like, is besides you. So that's the barrier of learning about yourself and how you can grow out of this situation. So, but yeah, look, arm yourself to the best ability to say, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. That's the best way to look at life. And it comes back from parents and family and this, that, and that, third. So that's how I look at it. Oh, yeah.